This is a painting of Ganesha idol, you can say. Ganpati Ganesha has been painted by many artists in many different ways, stylized ways, etc. etc. What I am trying here is painting the idol more like a still life, I would say, like catching shadows and lights. I'm using this reference photograph, which has a unidirectional light from the left side and shadow on the right side, but there are many reflected colors and tones you can see in the shadow, which makes it interesting, and the colorful festive look of the whole thing. I'm carefully, as far as the face is concerned, I'm very slowly, carefully trying to catch the boulder shape, outer shape, so that I won't have to bother about getting into details later. If the things fall in the right place and right shape, everything works. All I have to take care is the light and the shadow tones. They have to be correct and the shape has to be fairly accurate. The colors are vermilion red, crimson red, orange, little gamboge yellow, and mixed together. It's all warm. The entire reflected light is red, festive, warm. Further going down, I'm just concerned about the shape of a shadow. Okay, light is the area which I'm not painting. Getting the correct shape of the shadow and all my objects get defined. Now if you notice, if you want to paint a hand, you consider like fingers and thumb and etc. Instead of that, if you just look at the outer shape and what are the shapes the shadow is creating, your drawing falls into place. Another important thing is here is the balance of sharp edges against the blur edges. I mean, lost and found effect, as they commonly call it. Lost edges, found edges. So whenever there is a sharp edge, on the other side there is a lost edge or something like that. But the whole lost and found is making the composition work. If you look at the photograph, there are many shapes which will be seen in the first glance itself. But if you squint your eyes and go back a little and try to recognize the pattern, it becomes much more easy. Like painting is more about understanding shapes and recognizing the patterns that hold the subject together. I'm taking little care about whenever the darkest darks are coming, because they are going to really, the darkest dark do catch the eye first and they start defining the pattern. So you have to be really careful about it. The middle tone is setting up the backbone, you can see, the whole pattern of the painting. The lights will come alive in the end, which will be the highlight of the painting, obviously, but the darks will define everything. These are the times you have to be really careful. In terms of remaining minimal. The temptation is to, whenever you look at the look at your subject or look at this photograph from which I'm working on. The temptation is putting all the details and trying to depict the subject as realistically as possible. But for the painting, you have to really look at the painting in compositional terms, and what is actually working, what are the main areas that you want to focus. That needs to be slightly clear in your mind. Except for the few darks, you see, I haven't used much of blue or green or any cooler color. The entire color scheme is getting into warm, but just few accents of blue will balance it. Warm won't be too harsh to the eyes. These are the times when you really have to be absolutely minimum. The lesser you do, more it will, as they say. But you have to be accurate in doing whatever less you are doing, so that it obviously depicts more. Painting these eyes, again there is a temptation like to carve it or go very graphic, but that's not the idea here. I'm painting an idol, I'm not painting the image of Ganesha. My treatment is more like I'm painting a still life. The face and the right hand, that is actually the center of interest, and everything else what I want to do is which will support that, the center of interest, which will be leading the eye. I mean, I want to show the entire festive look of the idol, the colorful look of the idol, but at the same time the eye should be directed towards this center of attraction, which is the middle trunk, face and the right hand. This paper which I have chosen is not the very absorbent kind, purposely, uh, because I wanted the freshness of the color to remain as fresh as I put them, and the flow, whatever the natural flow of paint and brush strokes, that will create an object, a very comfortable zone of the absorbent paper, which I am avoiding purposely, so that I remain very accurate and minimal in the rendering. The left hand, it's barely suggestive strokes. And usually I'm painting very slow this time, because if it was a landscape I would be faster in my thinking, I would say, or I would purposely work faster. But this is a different case, of course. Just to complete, give it a rectangular look, I'm adding a background wash, which is, if you see, the coolest portion in the painting is that background wash, which is neutral, almost neutral, like it has a red tinge and a blue tinge, much more cooler than whatever else is there, but also neutralized at the same point, just to bring the central light area come alive little more. I guess I should be stopping by now, or maybe just little dots and sprinkle here and there to bring it a joyful, festive look.